Hello and welcome to Model Railroading for Dummies, the how-to show for model railroading dummies just like me. Now we're going to start on the part of this project that will take the most amount of work and effort, and I'm not 100% sure how I'm going to do it even now. I just sort of have an idea. Also, I'm going to be basing it roughly on how it works for this layout. For this guy, Pelle Soberg. I think that's how you pronounce his last name. It's Danish, so it's close enough. But basically what I'm talking about is the thingies for transferring the grain from bin to bin. Now originally I was just going to use the piping in with the kit, the Rick's kit and other stuff. But just looking at it, it's like, that is one long stretch. That is not realistic. So, I mean, that's not going to work. The only way that would work is if I would have another elevator over in here. And I just don't feel like doing that. So, I'm just going to do the more realistic looking conveyor system that you see in modern elevators. Now, I'm not doing it exactly the way this Pelle's doing it, because this guy he's good. He is to model railroading what John Paul Strain is to painting. So, what I did was what he did too. I got this Walther's Modern Conveyors kit. And this is going to be my base structure. Now you could scratch build the whole thing, but I prefer to have a solid base with which to work on this, to make it work. Also, he added a lot of brass parts because it looks better. I'm sticking with the plastic. It's easier. So, without any further ado, I'm going to show you exactly how I'm going to do this, and then we'll go down to the workbench and start working on this. Okay, here we are at the layout. So now what I'm thinking about doing here is I'm going to be taking the conveyor system is going to be based on this square pipe here. I think it's a 1/4 inch, if I'm not mistaken, 1/4 inch styrene tube. That's going to be the base. So the way this is going to work is you're going to have one layer here. I'm going to have one layer here, about yay high or so, and then I'm going to have another layer over here below that. So then there's going to be a little piping in between to connect the two. And then to help hold it in place, I'm going to be using this stand from the kit. I'll cut it in half and then put it up against the wall and to help hold that up. So that's what I'm thinking. So like I'll have this up in here, and then I'll have a pipe that goes over and connects to there. So that's how things are looking here on the layout. Okay, here we are at the desk. So I really do not know what I'm doing. So looking at this, I've got two parts here that I'm going to use. It was from the kit. This one here, normally if it was just a full-size one, this would be the one I want. But for the one, this is about the length I need, and for the other, this is about the length I need. But what I'm going to do here is basically just trim this stuff. So with this, I'm going to just, let's just use old rail nippers here. Trim this bit off here. Save it for some other scratch building project or kit bashing project. Okay, and then this, so then we'll just trim this off with a hobby knife and sand it down. Now there's a little bit of a ridge line here, probably for putting it together. I'm just going to use this sort of flat blade here and trim this off, because this is where I'm going to be setting the square tube thing. I'll be setting that right there, right on that. So this is working nice. And a few times actually you can use this blade. I think it's a number 4. Okay, so that's looking good here. This one here, I'm gonna just cut this right down the middle here. So this will probably just gonna have to use a hobby knife. Just trim that there. See, let's use a ruler. I mean, the middle pieces are fairly easy to cut because you can eyeball the center real easy. There we go. It doesn't need to be perfect because this is going to be against the wall and there's going to be a piping on top of it. So I just want to get it approximately where I want it and be fairly straight. There. And save this for something else. So these are the 2 base pieces that I'm going to use. So now let's see. Is this the short one or the long one? Oh, it's the long one. Here's the short one. Now, for the hard part. How the heck am I going to cut this in half? Exactly. Well, let's take our ruler here. Just use the centimeters because there's more notches. And try and find the center. 1, 2, 3, 6. Okay. Yes, I just flipped that. Okay. Now that I got my marks here, man, I wish I had a bigger pad. Something to think about for birthday. If I don't break down and get one myself. Okay, oh, here's an idea. Let's use this other pipe here to rest my ruler on. Brilliant! I've got a flat surface with which to cut with. Now let's just see if we can line this up. There we go. Now, the big question, can I hold this still? And not cut myself? Oh, it ain't gonna be perfect, I can see that right from the start. The only other, here, I think what we'll do, get rid of the pad. And, because I don't think I got this ruler lined up perfectly. Okay, let's do this edge since it's that way. Let's remark this. Okay, let's try again. Okay, that did not turn out perfectly, but I think she will work. Okay, so some of this needs a little bit of trimming, I can tell. I'll use a sanding sponge here to hopefully this will work. Kind of level this off a little bit. If I knew where my homemade one was, that would work better because it has a block instead of a foam one, but my room is a disaster. I haven't had time to clean it. So, I mean, it's definitely not the best work, and I'm sure there's people out there who know how to do this properly. Me, I just do the best I can with what I have or what I can find. Okay, that'll have to work. So, the way this will work is it will rest on this like so, more or less. You have to trim it more or less. And so that would be the base. And let's see how. Food for thought here. Oh yeah, I guess these are the same length. Oh well. That's about the height I want. What I could do is split another one of these in half. Then I can set that more or less here. I'm just sort of coming up with this as I go. And then get one of my angle pieces. Let's go for the smaller one, I think. It's 1/16 Plastruct. Yeah, and you come put that on top of there. Well, that might work. And then I can just have some, just use some HL scale 2x4 styrene strip to come up with a top. I think that might work. So, I think that'll work. I still don't know exactly how I'm doing this. Just going with the flow. Just trying to figure things out. Okay, cut that one out. Okay, I may need one more. So I think I need one a little bit longer. Okay, 2 of these cut out. Okay, and then 1 more of these cut out. And then while we're cutting, I might as well see. I'll use this one instead. So it has more cut out of it. I'm gonna cut out this base here. See, I'm only gonna need 1 of these. To come to think of this, I'm gonna cut out this big tower thing. I don't need it quite this long, but it's easy enough to trim. And then this will be one of the main support for holding this up on the layout. So set this off to the side for now. Then this walkway, let's trim that off. We don't need that at the moment. Okay, I've been doing a lot of work, and I've got made some real nice progress. Now this is what I've turned out. So I ended up using this walkway anyways. I wasn't going to, but then I decided, you know, that might actually be a nice detail. Add some nice details, so I decided to go with it. First, it's a simpler version. So you notice I got gaps here. I had to go to the layout and figure out, okay, where are the little pipes going to be coming down from? See, here's an example of what we have here. And I got some styrene on the ends here. I'm waiting for this to completely dry. Then I'm going to sand it real down nicely and trim it and everything, so that it should look alright. But you see, this is going to be glued on more or less like this. And then what these holes here are for, I'll zoom in a little bit. Okay, so what these holes here are going to be for is this is where the liners are going to go for going down to the next level and stuff, and getting down from here, or getting up, depending on where you're at. But I'm liking how that is looking. So that's how things are going there. Now, look, while we're here, we might as well just put this little piece up on here, so we got something to go for. See, I don't need this little knob here. It's for joining pieces. So yeah, I don't need to get rid of that end up there. So let's get a little bit of glue here. I tell you, it took me a while to get this together. Oh, and while I'm thinking about it, the way I connected these here, because this is not the way it goes originally, is these, what I did is I kind of had to trim these little in between here so these can fit in. But what this piece here is, these little supports here, these are actually the discarded piece of stuff that came off from here. So that's where that came from, and so that turned out real handy. So, and then I used the chopper here so I could get them the exact same length. So that's how I was able to glue the walking space onto this thing. Oh, and a tweezer was really, really useful for putting in a lot of these pieces. So now, stick it in. Whoa, I think there's a little bit of super glue stuck there. Okay, that's looking alright. I'm gonna need to. I think what I'll do is I'll get a book or something, or something like this. Yeah, that'll work. That way, I can have a nice 90-degree angle and it'll glue up straight. So that's looking good. Now there's going to have to be some where the ladders go through, and for the ladders I'm actually using some of the leftover piece. Ooh, I just no. There. You know, this is going to need a little bit of repair work. Okay. So this is the longer piece here. And so I was able to, so I cut this joining piece at an angle, hoping that that'll help make it a little bit stronger, which I think it will. But I think when I actually do put the auger thingy on there and glue that on, that ought to really strengthen that up. Yeah, I just kind of bent that up, messed that up a bit, but yeah, that's looking good. But like I was saying, I'm going to be using some of this leftover Rick's elevator pieces stuff, and I can use that for making the little ladders and cages for the ladders. So able to use some leftover stuff in there. That's not always nice. So things are looking very good. And so also I got these ladders here. They'll just have to be glued on the same way here. Just glued under there. So yeah, I am really pleased how this is looking. This took me a long time to make. I mean, this took me over 3 hours to get so far. Just fiddling and thinking this through. So that's how things are looking so far. Okay, I've completed working on this here. As you can see here, I've added the 2x4 styrene strips to the ends here. And I've also added the railings that are included with this. And then I had those to complete the ends. And so I just had, for the ends, for the auger thingy, I just put a piece of styrene to fit. So I got the holes and everything. So now, here's how it's going to work. Now, this here, it's going to be standing about, oh yay high. And then this will be standing roughly about yay high or so. And so the way this will work is, you know, this is going to be on here. Let's do it this way. There, no. Hold it enough. See, this is going to be up like that, so there's going to be a little chute that goes from this auger down into that auger. Then to help hold this up, I'm going to split this included thing to hold it up. Let's call it that. I'll split it right down the middle and cut it to approximately the right size that I need. So that's the thinking right now. Overall, I am pleased with how they turned out. They may not be the most prototypically accurate, but they're good stand-ins for my modeling experience.
And that's all I care about.
Okay, that's going to have to be it for today. So far, it's looking pretty good. It took quite a few hours to make, but I think the results are worth it. So, I mean, like I said, Pelle Sorberg, I mean, in his first attempt at making it, he made it look awesome. The best I could do is just do good enough, which I think I have succeeded in making, so far, making it good enough to pass muster. And that's all I care about. So, if you like this video, please feel free to leave a like and subscribe. And if you do subscribe, make sure to hit the little bell icon so you can receive notifications when I release new content. So until next time, keep working on your model railroads, keep having fun, and until next time, keep your trains on the tracks.